Healthy paws are an important part of your dog's overall well-being, right? Well, then why is it, I feel, sometimes one of the most overlooked areas of your dog's overall health? Think about it. Your dog's paws bear their body weight, just like our feet bear our body weight. Our feet are made up of skin, bones, tendons, ligaments, important blood vessels, just like your dog's paws. Injured paw pads can make walking very difficult and very painful for your dog. It can create matting between their toes, it can cause infections, and this can all be exacerbated if your dog starts to lick their paws excessively. That being said, in this video, I'm going to be giving you 6 tips for maintaining and keeping your dogs as healthy as possible, so hopefully you can prevent any of these issues from happening. As always, anything that I talk about in this video will be linked down in the description box if there's anything that you would like to check out. The first tip I have for this is to towel off their paws every single time that they re-enter your home. I'm talking whether they just went for a walk, whether they just went outside to go potty, whether they just ran across the yard to say hello to a neighbor. Every single time, wipe off their paws with a towel. So this right behind me is where they come in and out every single time when they go potty. We have a mat right here, we have shoes over here, we have everything that we need, as well as a towel. Not only does toweling off their paws help keep your home clean from them tracking things into your house, but it helps keep their paws clean. We have a ton of towels that are just designated to the girls, and we change it out every single day, if not more. On top of this, if it's really muddy or if it's winter time, we also have paw cleaners that we use to help clean off their paws. If we're not able to just get everything off with a quick, nice little wipe, we have their paw cleaners that we can stick their paws in, twist their paw around, and there's little rubber pieces inside the paw cleaner that helps to get in between the little nooks and crannies to help pull anything out that might be stuck inside there. Not only that, but the water helps get off the mud, and once you pull their paw back out, just towel it off to dry it. These paw cleaners are very nice to have. They always come in handy, and they are dishwasher safe. So whenever you're done using it, all you do is take it apart, take out the rubber mat inside, put them in separately into the dishwasher, run it through the dishwasher, and you're good to go. I own 2 paw cleaners just for the simple fact that if one is dirty and in the dishwasher, I still have another one that I'm able to use as a backup. My second tip is using paw balm at least a few times a week. Before you apply this though, check your dog's paws. Make sure that there's no rips, tears, cuts, anything at all that might have occurred from a thorn or some sharp object. If your dog's paws get too dry, they can start cracking and bleeding. So one way to prevent this is to keep them moisturized. And you don't want to moisturize them with something that you're using for yourself. You want to make sure that it's something that's actually made for dogs. What I use is Paw Protection and Paw Smoother from the Natural Dog Company. These help protect your dogs from hot surfaces, harsh elements, rough terrains, extreme temperatures, and it reduces the effects of contact with an allergen, especially if they have allergies to pollen, grass, or mold. For me, the ideal time to apply this has been bedtime, because that is usually when they're the most wound down and kind of most tuckered out from playing all day. When you put it on their paws, you can use a rag, or you can just put some on your finger and rub it into their paw pads. When you do this, it's going to take a while for your dog's paws to dry, so make sure that you take a few minutes afterwards to distract them before you let them get back up. I always let them smell it before I actually put it on so that they know that this is what I'm doing. Good girl. And then just make sure that whenever you are applying it, that you are giving them lots of positive reinforcement so that you're making it more of a positive experience, and reward them afterwards for letting you put this on their feet. What we do is usually when I put their paw balm on, I have them on their backs, so they're already laying back, and then when I put it on all of their paw pads, I just sit there and rub their belly, rub their chest, and I set a timer for 5 minutes, and I don't let them get up until that 5 minutes is over, so that the balm has a few minutes to actually soak into the paws before they get back up and start moving around again. Another idea for this is to actually get baby socks to put right over top of your dog's paws. This is really helpful to prevent licking, and it also helps to create an ultra healing environment. My third tip is to keep their nails trimmed. This is probably your dog's least favorite thing ever. Most dogs will need their nails trimmed every 3 to 4 weeks, depending on your dog, how fast their nails grow, the shape, the size, etc. But as a general rule of thumb, there's a way to tell if your dog's nails actually need to be trimmed, and that is as often as needed to keep the nail from touching touching the ground whenever your dog is standing up. You may be thinking, well, yeah, I take my dogs on walks all the time. Isn't that good enough? Maybe, but maybe not. Walking on pavement or some sort of hard surface is definitely going to help trim down your dog's nails, but always check to make sure that they are not too long. If their toenails get too long, not only will this become uncomfortable for the dog to run, walk, play, move around at all, but if they're too long for too long of a period of time, not only can that deform the paw, but it can also cause them to curve around and grow into the paw itself. That sounds awful and extremely painful. If you are not sure on how to trim your dog's nails, make sure you ask your groomer or your vet next time you go to give you some pointers. My fourth tip is to prevent Grinch paws. That's what we don't want. So this isn't an issue for every single dog, but if your dog has a medium to long coat, they will often have more hair on their paws than short-haired dogs will. Unfortunately, this extra hair can catch mud and other debris that can create some really big problems. Not only that, but hair that bunches between their pads is really uncomfortable, and if it folds underneath your dog's pads, it can cause them to slip and slide, losing traction. So not only am I talking about the Grinch feet coming up on top of their paws, I'm also talking about underneath and in between their paw pads. When you trim this hair in between their pads, it reduces the chance that the hair will mat up, which makes it really uncomfortable and difficult for them to walk on. No matter what time of year it is, there's always something that can get caught in your dog's paws or paw pads if you don't keep them well groomed. I do have a small pair of grooming scissors that have a rounded tip for the purpose of it preventing the chances of you actually cutting your dog. I only use these on top in between their toes, and then on the underneath side I have these tiny pet clippers that I just got from Amazon. It's not very loud, and then at the end there's a little plastic guard. I use this to actually go in between the paw pads and shave out the hair. This is a pretty thin size, so it's really nice to get in between all those nice little nooks and crannies. Do it at a time when they are more worn out. Don't do it in the middle of playing. So I'll take them like this and set them down with my legs out, wrap my legs around them, and I'm able to hold her head. So I would just take the buzzer like this, let her sniff it, let her get used to it so she knows what I'm doing, and then I'll work on actually starting to do it with her paw. Good girl. Good girl, Coco. Once we're all done, she gets a treat, she gets rewarded, so then I'm able to create a positive association with this. Tip number 5 is to get into the habit of inspecting their paws to make sure that they're actually healthy. Try to make it a regular thing. Whether you do this every single night before bed or a few times a week, you never know what might be stuck in there, and if there's a little injury, your dog may not give you any signs that there's something wrong until it becomes a bigger issue. One of the most common paw injuries is when a layer of the pad is peeled away when the dog runs and slips and slides on a rough surface, something that can catch onto their paws and create a little tear. This has actually happened to LARSEY before, and she actually took out a little chunk of her paw pad just from sliding across the floor. If you do find an injury upon inspection, clean it out, use an antibiotic ointment on it, then bandage it up to keep it clean until you're able to get to the vet. If you do find anything in between there, just remove it, grab some tweezers to pull it out if you need to. When you're doing this inspection, feel between each pad and check for any thorns, any clumps of dirt, dried mud, sand, a pebble, any sort of debris that could get in there. But pay attention to how your dog reacts to you handling their paw. If they start to wince or yelp or pull away, that's a really good sign that something in this paw is not feeling good. If you frequently are checking your dog's paws, you know what is normal to them and what is not. My 6th tip is to always check the terrain before you walk on it. Whether you're checking for the temperature of a surface, whether there's glass, whether it's uneven, if it's even safe, you have to pay attention to where you're going to be walking with your dogs so that you're able to keep them safe. When it comes to heat, asphalt, rocks, dirt, sand, gravel, concrete, these all can heat up really rapidly to temperatures that can burn your dog's paws. Take your hand, put the back of your hand onto the surface and leave it there for 5 to 7 seconds. seconds. If you're able to leave it on that surface for 5 to 7 seconds without having to immediately pull your hand back because it's too hot, it's probably okay to walk on it with your dog. When you're checking this, you do not want to use the palm of your hand because you have extra skin and calluses there, so you're going to be able to tolerate more heat than you would on the back of your hand. If it's too hot, walk your dog in the grass. Pay attention to trees. Maybe you're not able to get off of the pavement or the asphalt, but you're able to walk at least in the shade. Pay attention to the time of day when it starts to cool down. If you did enjoy this video and found it helpful, please make sure you let me know by hitting the thumbs up button. Give the video a like. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, feel free to do so. I am a dog mom that posts a lot of lifestyle dog mom content. I do post new videos like this every single Sunday, so I hope to see you right back here next Sunday for my next video. Bye guys.